Hi everybody in No One's Listening Land. We've crashed the World Technology Network. This is my favorite event ever. So we'll see you inside. We're gonna go in room and see what interviews we can dig up. So Kate Roberts is joining us from No One's Listening all the way from Los Angeles. And so what do you do at Cisco?
So I work in our corporate affairs organization, and I work on a program called the Cisco Networking Academy, which is a training program that teaches people how to build, design, and maintain computer networks. So we have 10,000 of these academies now globally, 50% of which are in the developing world.
Basically, it's an education program.
It is.
Your
We're
computers...
teaching them how to use the networking technology.
Right.
Because you can have a computer, you know, but until
It'll
it's hooked up to the network,
yeah.
So that's really what we're focusing on. What does Cisco really do best? And we're, great at networking. But the core curriculum that we offer is around how to build and design and maintain a computer network. Well, this program's been around 10 years, and it's amazing how few people actually know about it. And the reason that really is we don't go out and tout it, and talk about it. We really let the actions and the results and the impact that we're having speak for themselves. And I think that's a really important difference in how Cisco approaches our giving.
We had an opportunity to watch you speak today, and it was just so amazing because you showed this video of these women in Kabul who had never, wouldn't have had an opportunity to have any sort of education.
This 21-year-old woman in Kabul, Afghanistan is teaching other Afghan girls and women about information technology.
But talking about when they were under the Taliban rule, how women could not learn anything. So if you were caught with like a book, anything other than the Quran, it was severely punishable crime. And so this one woman that was in that video, she was telling us how she was like secretly teaching young girls during that time how to read and all these things. It was just a fascinating
and
story.
And when she says secretly teaching, she was putting her life on the line.
Literally, yeah.
I met these students during my recent trip to Afghanistan. I learned that there aren't a lot of men here, either as teachers or students, because of the recent deadly conflicts.
Because of hard time of the war, they were killed by rockets, by bombings, and by fighting of families. They don't have sons to work for them and support them. And that's why their daughters are coming and learning computers so that they can find job and work for their family.
Like in certain countries, you were saying they actually have to women have to go to school separately.
Yes.
So when it comes to work in a working environment, how do they then get a job?
This is such a great question. We have this big conference where we bring all of our academy instructors and other people that are involved in the academy from Europe, Middle East, and Africa, and this happened to be in Spain. And so somebody says, come here, you have to meet this woman. And so I went over to this one table during this big dinner we had, and this woman was from Saudi Arabia. And she was at an all-women's college teaching this curriculum. And I was like, well, that's really great. And I'm thinking to myself, but what are these women going to do? They're going to go home and take care of their kids, which in itself is not necessarily a bad thing, because they're more educated and that's good for their family. But you know what? The answer is because Saudi society in particular is so segregated, right? You have completely separate life for men and women in public. Men and women cannot, there's separate entrances and seating areas at Starbucks for men and women. It's fascinating. And so, but because of that, there's a separate service industry for women. There's separate banks that women can go to that men can't, that sort of thing. So guess what? Those banks need a network. They need an IT person. So they are training people. Even in that area, there is opportunity for women to get jobs, which is so fascinating to me.
Fantastic.
I was so moved by that. I walked back to my table and I was like crying. I was like, we are having such an impact. So incredible.
I know. I'm like, this is amazing. I'm so happy. We need to tell Oprah about you.
The whole idea of getting girls and young women excited earlier in life about what the opportunities are in technology is really something that the world needs to get their arms around and really embrace more and invest in more. And we're doing what we can, but it's not something that we're going to solve by ourselves. I really have to say, I think I have the best job in the world because I am so passionate about helping people in the developing world, but also specifically around women and empowering women. I'm really all about how do we get women to realize that they can do a lot more than society sometimes tells them they can do. And partners are so critical to this program, not only in helping us bring the program to the developing world, but also in helping us broaden it and bring it to the new level that we can do only through partnerships. Part of this conference is looking futuristically out 10, 20 years, what is the world going to look like? And I think women, the skills that we bring will really be much more valued as we move into that new type of environment in the world.
I'm so glad I got a chance to see you speak, and
Great,
I hope we
thank
stay in
you.
contact. And
Okay.
thanks for being on No One's Listening.
Very happy to
And
do that.
please let us know what's going on.
I will.
I'm seriously going to get choked out. We have to shut off the camera.